Hey everyone, Agnach here. Welcome to another video. In today's video, I'm bringing you another strategy that is quite strong at TH14. It is Blizzard Dragons, and if done right, it can destroy bases. I had Sneakies and Super World Breakers activated, which is why I added them, but you don't need to bring them. You can also have like an extra dragon or whatever other troops you want to use. I just found that this was nice and easy just for funneling and to get my heroes inside a compartment that without the Super World Breaker they wouldn't have gotten into. So I also bring a baby dragon, an E-Drag for funneling, and for the Blizzard I bring a Lava Hound for tanking for the blink. In the CC I have the Super Wizards and Bobs. Usually I like using, but you can have archers or you can have goblins, whatever you prefer. And spells I bring 3 rages, 3 freezes, 4 invisibility spells, and a poison. So let's go to the attacks. So this is the first attack. As you can see, the Tankler is on the other side, but I found that there wasn't much air targeting defenses if I came from 3 o'clock. That way I could use the Lava Hound for tanking and then using a freeze for that final area. That way my blimp could get to that compartment, which I really wanted to. If I had sent my blimp from like 1 o'clock, it would not have gotten into that compartment, which is why I had to send it all the way from 3 o'clock. And that way I can get rid of the scatter shots, get rid of the tank hole, pull the CC, and pretty much damage a little bit more. I put the E-Drag at 3 o'clock just to funnel the outside buildings so that I can send all of my dragons in the center so that they keep flying in. And then we have the king and queen coming from 12 o'clock just to get rid of more defenses. Now the whole point of this thing, the Blizzard, is to get rid of either the tank hole and create pathing, or you want to create pathing and get rid of high value defenses like the eagles, scatter shots. All of those have value defenses with the Blizzard, and then you can sewer your heroes into the tank hole. I suggest if you can get the tank hole with your blimp, definitely get the tank hole. Since that tank hole poison at tank hole 14, if your dragons go in there and you don't have your warden ability, they can die very quickly. Over here we have a ring base, so we send the Lava Hound for tanking, send the blimp from behind, and it gets all the way into the center compartment. We can put the rage, the invisibility spells. Our goal is to get that tank hole down and get some more defenses. I'm very happy to get the scatter shot as well, and we got that multi-inferno as well as an expo, I believe, and the CC gets pulled out. Now we can put the king and the queen, and obviously we want to create pathing for our dragons. So obviously, just like with the Lalo, we just want to break the ring and just create a nice little corridor for our dragons to be flying around. You also want them to go in towards the center of the base. You don't want them to stay in the borders of the base. So over here we've got the E-Drag as well, just funneling the outside buildings from 3 o'clock, and then just send all of the dragons in. They're gonna be going inside the base. A bunch of dragons go to the right, but a bunch of them to the left. Once they were all grouped, I used the warden ability just to make sure that all of them were within the warden ability, and they can just keep going through the base. One of the things that I found while doing all of these attacks, if you can find a way of getting to the eagle first, it's much better than leaving it to the end. That eagle causes quite a fair bit of damage to your dragons, so you definitely want to get rid of it as soon as you can, and probably it will be more of an overkill if you get that eagle first. However, I'll learn that a little bit later on. Now we've got this base, which is a bit of a war base, so I send the Lava Hound for tanking. Now you don't always have to send the Lava Hound for tanking for the blimp. If the tank hole is just next door and you can just put a couple of loons and then you send your blimp, that's fine. Then you can use the Lava Hound to tank for your dragons. So you can just chop and change whatever you want to do. Over here we've already created nice pathing at 6 o'clock, put the king at 9 o'clock, and then we can send the dragons in between. The king ends up hitting through a wall. I wanted him to just keep walking up, but that's okay. He's gonna be walking up now, and we can use the freezes for the multi-infernos. Now you can use the freeze for the scatter shot, you can use the freeze for the multi-infernos, for the single infernos if you're bringing your royal champion. You can use your freezes whenever you want to use them. You've got quite a few, and I usually like using the invisibility spell for my roller champion. Obviously, if there's single infernos, you want to use your invisibility spell there, but it really depends how your attack is going and where you want to use them. As I said, for me, the freezes, I like using them on high damage buildings like the eagle, scatter shot, and obviously when my troops are going there, so if I can save them. If you only have one dragon, then probably don't waste the freeze like I did on this attack. I think I wasted one of my freezes, but like if you have a bunch of dragons and the scatter shot is hitting them, definitely freeze it. Now here we see the owl, which a lot of people say that is a useless pet, being the MVP of the attack. Now we've got this other attack coming in with the blimp again and going towards the town hall. Now another thing that you can use your freeze for is those sweepers. So if you see that you have a pretty good value for the blizzard, but the sweeper is going to be pushing it back, then just invest that freeze. If you're going to get a lot of value from that blizzard, yeah, definitely invest that freeze. Now we've got the Agnach just finishing the funneling that the blizzard just created. As you can see, we gotten rid of that entire 1 to 2 o'clock area. We can put the king and the queen on the other side. So as I said before, you just want to create a line, a pathing into the center of the base with your dragons. That way we can have the king and the queen just going into the eagle. We want to get rid of the eagle as soon as we can, and all of our dragons are heading into the center of the base. The multi-inferno is hitting a lot of our dragons, so I decided to invest the freeze there, and we put the next rage in the center of the base. We still have plenty of loons. They're going to be flying towards the scattershot, which we have frozen, and we still have a few dragons flying around. That royal champion, you can use it at the beginning if you want to, but most of dragon players for E-Drags or normal dragons, they just decide to bring the royal champion at the end when you can see where she's gonna get the most value. Definitely don't do what I just did there, which is I sent her directly to where the defending king was. That defending king will kill her very quickly, and then you're not gonna get any value from her. But this was still a pretty strong attack, and we ended up getting the 3-star. Now here we have the final base, and it's quite of an old base if you must say, but over here I'm showing how you don't have to blizzard every time to the town hall. Over here we've got the eagle, a couple of wizard towers, a single inferno, roaring champion, the queen. So there's a lot of value here for our blizzard. So we've got rid of the royal champion now. Now the wizards get rid of the eagle. They're gonna be getting rid of the queen, or at least they leave her very low on health. So I decided to put my Agnach there. It will only take one of his hits to get rid of the queen. Then we put the king and the queen at 11 o'clock. That's another thing you can do if you don't have super wall breakers. Just send them into like those big areas where they can create a funnel, but they don't need to go inside the base, and that way the dragons can just keep flying in. We put the next rage down, and they just keep going into the base. Now over here as well, I use the warning ability. Probably if you want to, you can just wait on the warning ability. However, I saw that both of the scatters were hitting my dragons, so I decided just to use it, just to try to save them as much as I could. I knew that the king and the queen were heading towards the town hall, so they could get rid of it. The tornado trap gets triggered. We've got a couple of dragons with the baby dragon and the warden at 6 o'clock, and the queen with ability just getting rid of some more defenses. The royal champion is just joining her and getting rid of the expo, and then that's just cleanup. And this was another triple with the blizzard dragon, which I think is a very strong attack. Very strong. However, I do believe that it is very base specific, where you can create that funnel to go into the center of the base. Well, that's my blizzard dragons. What do you think of them? Pretty strong, but it has to be against the right base, as I said before. Sometimes using the blizzard to get the town hall, sometimes to get the high value defenses. It really depends on base to base, and basically you just want to create that funnel to get your dragons to go into the center of the base, have the king and queen clearing one side, the Agnach on the other side, and then just having the royal champion in the back end just to help out with the rest of the defenses. Well, if you liked the video, please click the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time with more Clash. See ya.